Over here, there's some baseball fans eager to make theirs.
Yes.
We have Daniel Gotera and Matt Musil.
Hey,
hello, guys.
How's it going?
I'm doing well. Okay, Astros performance, better, worse, or exactly as you expected? Who wants to go first?
For me, I think it's exactly as expected. You see the records compared to 2017. And they're similar, their starts to the season. I always thought that this was going to be a World Series contender yet again, get to the World Series and beat the Red Sox this season. And I think they're right where they need to be heading into the summer months.
Right where I thought they would be. Record-wise, I did not think they'd have an 8.5-game lead. That's incredible. What happened to Oakland? Good grief, and Seattle melted down. But to look at this lineup with Jose Altuve out, the DH position hitting, what, 210? Something like that. And you have 31 wins on the board? That's incredible.
Yeah.
I thought they'd have that record. I didn't know they'd have this big of a lead.
All right, before the show, KHOU 11 baseball analyst, former Major League scout Jeremy Booth, weighing in as well.
You know, Jason, for me, it's as expected, okay? This team is built to score a lot of runs. And when you have hitters like that, sometimes they're going to be on and sometimes they're going to not be on. You've had some spurts with this offense that haven't been, let's say, seamless, right? But you've had other ones that have been pretty dynamic, and George Springer is tearing the cover off the ball. That said, Altuve had surgery in the offseason. You don't know how that affected his preparation. You have a pitching staff that is really 2 starters deep right now with Colin McHugh in the rotation. Without Colin McHugh in the rotation, Cord Martin's come up and given him a shot in the arm. Relievers are volatile, never know what that's going to do, and Osuna's been as advertised. So it's about as expected. There's still a lot of baseball left, and we'll see where they go from here.
All right, Jeremy, thank you so much. Guys, I'm going to say worse than expected.
Wow.
Okay, here's why. And it's good news. It's good news.
You better explain yourself.
Because, listen, Jose Altuve not playing.
Right.
The starting rotation after the big 2.
Yep.
And then the middle relief corps has been up and down. So I'm going to say those aspects of this team have made this worse than expected. But it's good news because, listen, when everybody gets back into the swing of things, well, you're going to see a team perhaps with an even bigger lead in the AOS and a team that perhaps will have an even bigger lead as the best team in baseball.
When you talk about middle relief, Colin McHugh,
He's going to help that.
He's going to help out. The back end of the bullpen is awesome.
Yeah.
So now on to George Springer, who left today's game with some tightness in his back. Springer leading the American League in no less than 10 offensive categories.
It's incredible.
So give me a GIF which best represents what Springer is doing to the rest of baseball.
Okay, I would say brilliant. Brilliant. This guy's brilliant. In the month of May, he's batting over 400, 8 homers. You know what his OPS is? Have you noticed what?
It's like 5 million, isn't it?
What? I guess 1.328, something like that.
For me, it's SpongeBob SquarePants blowing out the room full of fire. Like, somebody got to calm this guy down. Actually, no, please don't calm him down. I mean, I've always said that when George is going, this offense is one of the best, if not the best in baseball. And right now, locked in right from the top of the order. He's getting on base. Led off yesterday with a triple, set that tone for the game. He's just so good right now. Pay the man. He needs a long-term contract.
I like the gang from Scooby-Doo with the high five and the chest bump because, listen, that's what the Astros have been doing nearly every time Springer's been playing. You know, one thing Springer is doing differently this season, as noted by Fangraphs, compare last season's stride on the left to this season's on the right of your screen. George's leg kick this season, it's not as pronounced or big. So let's go back to Jeremy Booth. Jeremy, is there any significance in this?
Yeah, there's 2 reasons to have a leg kick. One is power and one is timing. And George has plenty of power, right? So he doesn't need to do that. What he's been doing up until this year is he's been generating his leg kick with a high leg kick and letting the ball travel at the same time with his body going forward. That'll throw him off for the breaking ball. This year, what he's seemed to have done is spread out a little bit more, get his foot down a little early, but his eyes are in position so he's able to react to wherever the ball's at.
All right, some great breakdown there from Jeremy. Guys, when you talk about the Astros right now, their chances of winning the division stand at 99.8%.
Why is this not 100 right now?
Well, you know, if the Mariners happen to win the rest of their games.
Things could happen.
So if the season was to end tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
Which team in the American League would you not want to play in the postseason?
Well, the White Sox, of course, Jason, because they're in top. No, that's a joke.
Man.
That's a joke.
Oh,
all right,
boy.
for me, I'm going to go with the Sox of a different color. I'm still going to go with the defending champs. Boston, their lineup is loaded. I know they haven't played very well. Chris Sale got off to a rough start. We look pretty good today, only giving up those 3 runs. I think the champs are going to get things in line. Even though they're kind of treading water, that team and this rivalry that these two teams have forced is pretty good, and I don't want to see those guys in October.
That is so much fun to watch these guys.
I know.
Isn't that
they
fun?
love playing against one
All
another.
right, Matt. Which
Okay,
team?
so
There you
can
go.
I borrow the pen?
Yes, you can. I was
Okay,
trying to
so,
hog it there for you. We'll switch spots too. Here you go.
So the Astros won the series, right?
Uh-huh.
Who haven't they beat in a series this year? Let me think. Oh, yeah, these guys. They're 1-3 against the Rays. They can't win at the Trop. What is the deal?
That's going back for years, too.
For years they can't win. I don't want to face these guys tomorrow. I don't want to face them in October. They've won 27 games. I know they're a tick behind the Yankees right now. That's a very good ball club. And they've got Charlie Morton. No, it turned out he wasn't hurt. Yeah, he's very good still.
All right, so Matt and Daniel making their picks. Jeremy Booth's turn.
If that's tomorrow, right now as the season's going, who's playing hot is who's going to win in the postseason. I don't want to face the New York Yankees. They're dangerous. They can score runs in bunches, leave the ballpark with pretty any much hitter in the lineup. And in a short series or a 7-game series, you never know what can happen. Long term, I'm still saying the Tampa Bay Rays. The reason why, they are better than they were last year, and as they hit their stride, they're going to beat up that AL East and continue to do well, and they don't want to play the Astros.
All right, so Jeremy, we're going to mark as the Yankees because that was
Okay.
If it was tomorrow, guys, I'm going to go. We can actually play tic-tac-toe. I'm going to go, or bingo. I'm going to go Minnesota, and here's why. They have 3 starting pitchers who are averaging more than 8 strikeouts per 9 innings. They've scored more runs than any team in the American League. This is a team that I think the Astros should be worried about if the season were to end today.
Yeah, because it's going to be in cold weather if it's in
That's
October.
another good
I
point,
mean,
too.
they beat up on the Astros.
Right. And that division is awful as well, like the AL West. So they'll be right in the mix.